And I agree that this boycott should happen. And what I've also noticed is that some Africans would move here, give birth to their children, while the father and the mother are both Africans. But then they will, have that child, identify as Black American, which I don't think that is fair at all. The whiteys took people from Asia and brought them in the Cape. So today those people are called coloreds. So now they do have this parade as well, where they paint their faces black and all that. And they say that, they got influence, of that parade from, Black Americans, Black Americans, Black Americans. And I've also noticed with you, host, that, that you've been shying away from saying that you are indigenous to America. Yes, life did start in Africa. If Black people were the first people to populate this earth, that means that Black people are indigenous to whatever land in which they occupy.
Our forefathers weren't the Pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us.
That black isn't beautiful. It isn't ugly. It isn't kinky hair. It isn't straight hair. Black is just black.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Voodoo Doll TV, and I wanted to come to you guys and discuss a stream that I heard. This stream was in reference to the FBA boycott of African businesses that has started on August 1st, and this boycott was simply due to a lack of customer service, a lack of respect, and also a lack of mutual benefit by the Black American community. Now, Black Americans have been talking about this for a while. There's been a really crazy internet diaspora war been going on for years. As a matter of fact, I want to say the very first time I heard an African say something very disparaging online about Black Americans was Clubhouse. Clubhouse was a space during the pandemic that was basically like Twitter Spaces or X Spaces. You can just kind of go on there and talk, and you can open rooms and people will come in and share. Well, I noticed really quickly when I got on Clubhouse, if you go in certain African rooms, they would really like try to fry you up. Like, it was crazy on Clubhouse. It got to the point to where Black Americans, every time they went into the room with these guys, it would be a big thing, and also vice versa. So this is my first experience of seeing that Black Americans and Africans even had beef. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe I'm biased because I am a Black American, but from my perspective of seeing it on Clubhouse, it seems like it was a lot of Africans kind of like sunning a lot of Black Americans, or at least trying to. And it caused a huge divide on Clubhouse that literally remained. And then it somehow spilled over to TikTok and probably YouTube now and all these other places. So that's my first place of hearing about this diaspora war online. And when I tell you, going into those rooms, if you don't have strong feelings, you're not gonna make it, because it was crazy. But either way, it was around that time I realized Black Americans and Africans are not united as much as I thought they were, even though I had my own experience with a Nigerian person about 2006. And when I met his mother, like all other stories, she was not happy. She was yelling and screaming, get her out of here, don't date her. But she was saying it in Nigerian, and it was crazy. That was my first experience. So I've always known that this Pan-African movement was really more of an idea than a reality. I mean, because when you think about it, Black Americans shop with everybody because we are the number one consumer in the world. However, literally nobody shops with us. And when I say nobody, I don't mean, one or two people. I mean, as a collective, no collective community shops with Black America. And we are the only ones who shop with everybody. So when some Black Americans took to TikTok to express their frustrations, a lot of people were upset, and it caused a lot of confusion, a lot of divide, and also a lot of name calling on both sides. Now, as I'm going through all of this content, trying to figure out what's happening currently in this whole diaspora beef, I ran across a stream from a brother brother online, and he hosted a panel of people to come up and talk about the disrespect between FBA and Africans in the diaspora, and he actually was very fair with letting everybody express themselves. But somewhere in the stream, he asked if there was anybody outside of Black America that wanted to come up and actually agree with Black America, and what do they have to say. Now, let me say this. I am not obtuse nor ignorant to the fact that just because we're having issues with the African people in America, that does not have anything to do with the African people back at home. I think right now what's happening with Black America is we are home on our land, and we have foreigners here basically trying to push us around and tell us where we can and can't spend our money. And on top of that, there is disrespect on both sides. However, when we are the consumer, we have the power, and as the power of the consumer, we say you're going to respect us, and it just is what it is. So now foundational Black Americans have started the boycott. The boycott started August 1st, where basically everyone from Black America is boycotting all African businesses. Originally, it started with the braiding company, but then as time went on and the disrespect continued to happen, Black Americans decided that they will boycott all African businesses, and it started August 1st. Now, as it pertains to the stream, there was a South African woman who came up on the stream, and she touched on a few topics that I wanted to bring to you guys because I think it's very important. And it's bigger than the fact that she agreed with Black Americans as far as us being disrespected and mistreated on our own land. This woman spoke a lot of truth about things that only people outside of Black America know inside of their cultures. And in this particular situation, she's speaking about African culture, and she's talking about some of the things that some of us have maybe heard rumors about or maybe even talked about but wasn't able to confirm. And some of those things were very important for you guys to hear. Now, one of the things she talked about was the jealousy between African and Black American culture. This South African woman confirms that Black American culture reaches every part of the globe, and everyone in the world knows it. She also spoke about how Black people are indigenous to this entire earth. And this is something that I've been speaking about to you guys for a while, because a lot of people have been taught the out of Africa theory. And in said theory, it basically says that everything started in Africa. Life started in Africa with a monkey named Lucy. And even the Bible points to the Garden of Eden being located somewhere on the continent of Africa. So Black Americans have been indoctrinated since the 1960s that we all came from Africa and that we had no right to the land where we stand. But I have been preaching to you guys that basically that wasn't true. Simply by the logic of melanated people are indigenous to every land on the earth, even the coldest region. And this South African woman agrees, and she kind of reiterates that on the live as well. And I wanted you guys to hear it from someone outside of the community so that you can see what I've been telling you, that everyone knows who we are and everyone knows more about us than what they lead on. It's just that they keep the information to themselves. Now, this woman also goes on to say a lot of other things. She even admitted that the South Africans who were mad at New Orleans for the New Orleans Zulu parade were wrong in their assumption that Black Americans stole Zulu culture from South Africa, because South Africans indeed got that culture from New Orleans and Black America. She's going to talk about that. She's going to speak about a whole lot of other things. And I wanted to bring it to you, family, so that you guys can hear this, see this, take it in, and realize that what I've been saying is true. As Black Americans, we have been lied to for decades, generations, ages. So much so, we are confused as to who we are, our identity, and it has made us the most lost people on the face of this earth. Now, even though most people that we know and most cultures that we see were recently created by the clear man, the people who occupy some of these cultures take a lot of pride in it. And sometimes they can come to America and look down on Black Americans as if they don't have a culture. But now that we are in the age of information and in this age of awakening, Black Americans are starting to wake up and realize all of the lies that has been told to us. And we're also starting to be able to reach out and touch other people to get their perspective and what they know and what they've learned about us over here in America. Because contrary to a lot of people's belief, there's a lot of oral history passed down outside of America about American history. Now, the key to this video is for you to take in this information and also for you to ask questions about what you're hearing. But for the most part, is to really expose that a lot of foreigners especially in the black diaspora, like to come into black America, hang into hip hop and benefit off of it, and then act a bit obtuse as to what they know, or at least what's been passed down orally from their family about us. And some of them get indoctrinated into the Western society because they're raised in America, and also they attend the schools and churches. So it's kind of crazy and a catch-22, but I'm gonna let you guys hear what this lady had to say, and I want y'all to really take in what she's saying and think about what it is a lot of foreign people who hang around or hang amongst black people are not saying. Okay, so I'm gonna let this play, and I'm looking forward to your thoughts on this situation down in the comments. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you are notified when I upload new content and or go live. So you guys, let's get into the stream and let's get the discussion popping down in the comments section. Check it out.
Let's get to, I want to get to Sky. Let's get to Sky.
Hi guys. First of all, I want to say to the host that you're doing a good job. You are letting people speak, even though they have different opinions from you. So I applaud that. Because yesterday I was in a space, and although I was in support, I got disrespected a lot, and I thought that was unfair. And then after, they didn't even give me a chance to speak, and removed me from the space. But anyway, I just wanted to thank you for doing a good job. So on that, I want to say that I do support the boycott thing that's going on, because I have been seeing the disrespect that's happening online. I'm also coming up here, so that you guys don't think that, all Africans hate Black Americans. We don't hate Black Americans. In fact, we love Black Americans, and I'm from South Africa. We have a lot of Black Americans currently moving to South Africa, and South Africa is one of the beautiful countries in the world, and it's also one of the most developed countries in Africa. So yeah, we don't hate Black Americans at all, and I've been seeing the disrespect happening online. And I agree that this boycott should happen. And what I've also noticed is that some Africans would move here, give birth to their children, while the father and the mother are both Africans. But then they will, have that child, identify as Black American, which I don't think that is fair at all, because you cannot migrate to an ethnicity. And I think Black Americans should vocalize, that Black American is an ethnic group on its own. So therefore, no one can just migrate to an ethnicity. And I've also noticed with you, hosts, that, that you've been shying away from saying that you are indigenous to America. Yes, life did start in Africa, and also by that argument, if life started in Africa, if Black people were the first people to populate this earth, that means that Black people are indigenous to whatever land in which they occupy.
That's true. Yes.
So yeah, what I want to say is that don't shy away from saying you are indigenous to America, because you are. Mm-hmm. We also believe that, yes, chattel slavery happened, but we don't believe that there were no Black people in America. That's false. Those are lies that white people continue to feed us. Yeah. So I also wanted to say that, I don't want you guys to think that all Africans hate Black Americans and all that. We don't. And I've also seen that actually some, Africans that come there are also taking, scholarships that are meant for Black Americans. And I don't think that is fair at all, because Black Americans are still, oppressed here in America by the whiteys, and I don't think it's fair to take these, little opportunities that they have, because that is basically stealing from them, and I don't think that is fair at all. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So if anyone have any questions for me, please ask. I want us to engage with respect, of course. Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments, and they're talking about South Africa when they were upset about the Zulu parade, or anytime Tyler is mentioned. They come for us very hard.
Oh, they did.
What do you think about
That
that?
is true. That is true. I saw that, and they said some very, disrespectful things. And I did see that, and I actually did call them out when they said that, because they were calling Black Americans, and saying that they don't have culture and stuff, which is a lie because which is a lie because Black American culture is global. Because there are a lot of Black people, in fact, a lot of people from different ethnicities who are influenced by Black American culture, in the way they dress, in the way they talk, and all those things. So yeah, I don't support that. I saw that and I did call them out because they are lies themselves because there's a huge Black American influence in South Africa. So yeah.
That leads me to just one more thing. There's a parade there. It's like a minstrel parade. It actually has blackface. Have you heard of it? I think is it the? Do you have a tribe named Clock or something like that?
No, we have colors. Actually, slavery did happen to South Africa as well. So
Okay.
the whiteys took people from Asia and brought them in the Cape. So today those people are called coloreds. So now they do have this parade as well, where they paint their faces black and all that, and they say that they got influence, of that parade from Black Americans and stuff. Yeah. But those are colors. It's not, the Black people of South Africa. Yeah.
Okay, because it's like a so minstrel here for us is degrading. That's when the whitey people would make
It is.
fun of us, and right. So I kind of, I know you don't come from that tribe. Obviously, I don't believe you do, and so I just wanted to kind of touch and see what you knew about it and how does the Africans view it. So they view it as a form of homage that they got inspiration from us, or is it meant to be kind of degrading? Because let's face it, even they could get it wrong.
No, they're not doing it in a way to degrade. They're doing it in a way that they relate to the American history, with slavery and stuff. Since most of the ancestors too came through slavery, but most Black people don't support that blackface thing. Personally, I also don't support the parade that some Black Americans participate in, where they paint their faces black, because that was used, as a mockery by the whiteys. So I don't think any of those things should be embraced. Sarah, good job.
So it sounds like we're saying similar things. However, I'm not from New Orleans. That was the first time I ever heard of the parade. But speaking to my New Orleanians, they said that what they were doing was they didn't have enough. So it's Zulu in name only, right? And because they were
Yes.
locked out of something, they didn't have the proper
I think Mardi Gras. They were.
right. They were locked out of. They didn't have the proper costume attire, for lack of a better word. And so the paint doesn't necessarily represent the skin. It was just something that they improvised to use. But the Zulu, actually the official Zulu organization, something like that, did attend one of the parades in 2006. And the last we left off with the whole New Orleans versus Zulu, the Zulu said they would make a statement, but I didn't look back into it. Do you know if the organization visited again or? So anybody from New Orleans here that could comment it just so that I don't spread misinformation? But they were supposed to make a statement, but they actually visited and the parade continued on. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not so familiar with that. The first time I came across that, was when South Africans were fighting with Black Americans about.
Oh,
I think she got
She
disconnected.
must have got a phone call. No, it looked
Sorry,
like a
guys.
phone call
I
or a
need to
text.
leave. There's been
Okay.
a tsunami warning issued where I'm at, so I need to evacuate quickly. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good
be
day.
safe.
Bye.
Okay, be safe.
Thank you.
We gave
She's
you a
ashamed of herself.
cow.
She's ashamed of herself. Hold on.
That's
What
why.
state do you live
Hello.
in? What state do you live in?
Brother, you
And energy too. When this lady, is this Sky? And Bantu, when they spoke, I believe the whole environment was very understanding. It's about the tone and how we're able to put ourselves out there, the words we use, how we present things helps to make understanding easier. I feel your point is 100% legit.
Reputation is based off of your behavior.
Yes, sir. I understand you.
That can be checked and
that
can be solved. So that's what needs to happen.
So if you identify your problem, is halfway solved. I want everybody to end.
White people that continue. Y'all the African Americans, y'all own country. That's why y'all mad. It should not even be a conversation.
Yeah, so I'm wrapping up.
Get it, but you still talking like you don't get it, even though you're saying you agree. So, all right, and because we got to get to some more hands. Right?
This should not even be a conversation. Y'all just everybody's the same. African Americans are the same. Y'all just jealous that Africans come to this country and do better than y'all own country. That's why y'all mad. That's why y'all mad. That's why y'all mad. Boycott the African businesses. We don't care. We will support each other. We don't care. We could go back to Africa. Y'all the African Americans, y'all stay in this country and tolerate disrespect from white men and women, but do you boycott their businesses? Are y'all boycotting Lululemon? Are y'all boycotting white people that continue to kill y'all people? Y'all sound stupid. Y'all sound stupid. If I see anything I real life, I'm slapping the shit out of y'all. We don't care. Africans don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you. Since y'all want to separate Africans from African Americans, we don't need you. We don't need y'all. And we will continue to prosper. And we will continue to be great. If migrants will continue coming to your country, making y'all work for them. Migrants will continue.
Nobody.
Because
you're a coward. Hold on. What state do you live in? What state do you live in?
Jealous. Y'all jealous. Y'all jealous of Africans. Y'all are jealous.
What state do you live in?
We do it better.
With the English that you're speaking, I can tell you don't live in Africa. You're speaking English too fluently to live in Africa. Where
you know damn well I ain't somewhere in America. Fluently, and all of y'all.
Where do you live? Where do you live? Come on,
some of y'all from the Bronx.
They always here talking about
y'all sound dumb. Y'all sound dumb. Y'all sound dumb.
Man, you're using our vernacular. You're using our vernacular. You have lost your culture, ma'am. You're using our vernacular, ma'am. Talk in your native language. Ma'am, why are you ashamed of where you come from? Wear your cultural garb. Stop looking like us. You get no ratings. Our men don't like y'all. That's why your men marry us more. You want to keep going about embarrassed? You owe us everything that you have on because we gave you your style.
Shut up.
We gave you your style, man.
Where she's from? Because she's ashamed.
We gave you a style.
She's ashamed of herself. That's what she.
You would have no.
That's why she ain't got no profile picture.
You would never get any respect if you weren't cosplaying us.
If she looked good, she would have.
I can tell.
She would have a profile.
I can tell. Like
jealous.
But see what? I can still tell you're not us, no matter how much you cosplay, because I still hear the residual accent. My ears are very keen, man. This ain't what you want. You're crashing out because you know that your whole life is built upon what we give you, what we allow you.
Give her a good 20 seconds.
Go talk to the white man. Go talk to the white man. We don't care. We don't care. Boycott us. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. Boycott us. Go talk to the white man. How about that? Go talk to the white man.
Why you yelling?
People. Y'all don't have the energy for the country. Y'all so slow. Y'all so stupid. That's why you gotta talk to ignorant people. Go talk to the white man that kill y'all people nonstop every day, disrespect y'all, call y'all niggas, look down on y'all like y'all trash, but y'all worry about fucking Africans who are the same color as you. Y'all need to worry about the white man.
We look different, ma'am.
We don't.
We do look different. I can tell you not us.
You know we do. That's why you ain't got no profile picture.
That's why you crashing out. That's why you crashing out.
What's a black person supposed to look like?
You're crashing out. You're not black, you're African. We are the black people on this land.
Tell us where you're from. You
don't worry. Don't just know I'm African. I'm proud to be African. Y'all don't want to
Where in Africa?
Y'all ever hear white people? White people always say how they're from the Caucasus regions, how they're from Europe, from their here, there. Y'all just so embarrassed to claim y'all African. And ZZ, bitch, shut up. You got your very dumb
bitch, you got the right one. Don't do that.
Bitch, yeah, bitch, I do got
bitch,
the right one.
You don't got the right. You know what? Let me
What's up, bitch? You got your hair done by the African bitch, and you on here talking, running your fucking mouth.
Even though
Y'all on here running your dick suckers, looking stupid.
You might be a fucking Karen up here trying to pretend to be African just to get this anti-black nonsense on.
Bitch, I don't care. I will knock them 4 eyes in your fucking face, bitch. Where you from,
bitch,
ho?
I got a face. You don't. You see this black American face?
Here. I look better than all of y'all grown ass adults on TikTok.
Because what it really is jealousy. What it really is just you want this face, you want this voice, you want this swag, you want this lineage, but your broke ass won't go back home to get you.
Where your children? Oh, I will go back home to my country, baby. With the money I make off of y'all. With the money I make off of y'all, bitch. How about that? Clock it. Since y'all hate Africans so much. Y'all hate
anti-black ass
ever since Africans stepped foot in this country, y'all children. African booty scratcher. African bitch. Get off African dick. Get off African dick. Get off African dick. Get off African dick. Get off African dick.
There's 100 different things I can call your stupid ass.
Where y'all college degrees at? Shouldn't y'all be at work? Y'all on TikTok for a living running your fucking mouth.
That's it. We gotta protect the integrity of the live. We gotta. Ma'am, you had your 5 minutes, and because you would not put your face on, because you would not put your face on camera, period, you won't get no viral moment of
yeah, bitch, please.
Reset.
Get the fuck on about here with that nonsense. What the hell got a nerve to come over here and fucking yell at me? Talking about bitch, how about you take your bitch ass back to Africa? How about that? We're over here worried about our business. All up in our damn bit. Why you not in the African space with a bunch of Africans in the line? You over here worried about us triggered. Girl, get the fuck out of here.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.